Okay. Next up, Jadarian Price, four-star running back out of Texas. This is film that we shot earlier this year. So, Mike, why don't you tell us about Jadarian Price?
First of all, Texas running back, I like that in terms of level of competition. So you check that box. Watching his film, the first handful of plays were just home runs. Kind of looked like Will Shipley's film, the Clemson kid who we were in love with, where it's just all home runs. And then it wasn't until about halfway through the film where you started to see some what I would call like a dirty run, where it's not clean and he's able to show some balance. Here you're seeing some physicality. So big upside with him. I think he does have some filling out to do. He's a long-armed kid, long-levered kid. And you know how much I like length in terms of football players now. It's just what we're all sort of seeking out. But hard runner. I think he'll get faster as he continues to develop and fill out. I'd say the case with Merriweather as well. Um, just power, sometimes a little bit more power, a little bit more muscle, tightening up your body. You'll get some speed out of that. But really good player, catches the ball really well. You don't see a ton of that on his highlight tape. I know he caught a bunch of balls as a junior. So just a really well-rounded back. Um, and yeah, it's when you look at him, you kind of like it almost looks like a shorter version of like a Darren McFadden. I was trying to come up with a comp, right?
Sure.
Because he's just long and almost looked like a small forward playing the tailback position, but he's physical and he's got that balance where there's a play on his highlight tape I saw where they're running wildcat and he ends up fumbling the ball and he gets out of like 4 or 5 snaps. But yeah, bright future for him. Don't be disappointed if it takes a year for him to see meaningful playing time. Obviously, with the running back room as it is right now, but I like him. Kind of a one cut and go type guy, and you can use him in a pass game.
I mean, does he seems to fit in really well with the guys they have on their current roster. I mean, they're all I mean, you lose Kyron, that's going to suck, but they're all, catch the ball, block. I mean,
Hmm.
Lance Taylor's known for his work with Christian McCaffrey, obviously, one of the best all-purpose backs we've ever seen, and he kind of likes those guys in that mold. Logan Diggs, Chris Tyree, Jadarian Price. We'll see on Audric Estime is a little bit more of a power guy, but I mean, is that fair? Just to say that, I mean, Price is just a better
Yes.
all-purpose guy.
Yeah, I mean, running backs anymore, Mike, they have to be all purpose, right? You have to be able to catch the ball. So I think it's going to be there's a lot of toys for Coach Reese to play with here. That just look at Estime. So we all look at his body type and we look at the height weight measurables and you expect him to be a hammer, but he flashed quite a bit of speed, right? Logan Diggs is kind of I would say that yeah, Logan Diggs is kind of a balanced of speed and power. Then Tyree's just, you would presume, straight speed, but he's shown power and he's shown some balance and some physicality. So you've got a lot of different backs that have like an inherent sort of skill set, but they're multiple at the same time. So when you plug player X or player Y into the game at any given time, it's not like necessarily a dead giveaway. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Like if they put Estime in on a 3rd and 3, it's not necessarily going to be a lead blast, right? He's got speed to get outside too. And the same thing with Tyree. You might expect Tyree is okay. We're going to run off tackle. It's like, well, he can cut it up inside now, or we can motion him out. So there's a lot of toys to play with. I mean, the closest thing to me is he's closer to Diggs than Estime and or Tyree at this
Sure.
point.
Yeah. Yeah. I think that's fair. Okay. Notre Dame signed. It's one receiver from the state of Washington. Not exactly fertile recruiting grounds, but kind of shows Notre Dame's power in being a national recruiting base. So, film we'll watch here for YouTube, and make sure those who are with us live hit the thumbs up. This is a couple of single game film. So, first play here is Merriweather at corner. You'll see him. In the secondary, you'll see him, punt returns, slot outside.
He's a
I
great
mean,
returner.
yeah.
Yeah.
So tell me what you think about Tobias Merriweather, Mike.
Again, we've talked about this before ad nauseum. We need special players on the edges. I think Lorenzo Styles got the ability to be a special player, polishing up his. Because when you look at the receiver position, everybody wants like height and speed, right? So Lorenzo Styles has speed. Braden Lenzy has speed. but there has to be some polish to that, some wiggle to that, ability to jump, body control. This is a really good receiver. Great measurables. I don't care that he's a little bit light. I don't care at all. I'd rather have the pliability and the athleticism than just size. Um, Big fan of this kid. Just kind of an explosive kid. You see it in the return game. He's a little cocky, which I love at the position. Notre Dame needs just a little sprinkle of that, throughout the locker room. So he should play early. To me, he really should.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, West Coast kid. I like him. Goes up and gets the ball. And I don't have the word. I keep trying to use like pliability or wiggle, but like when
And
you go watch an NFL game, I mean, it's just guys being athletes, and this is what you have here, as opposed to just raw speed or he's just big. Like Colsey's a big receiver. Styles has just crazy raw speed. This kid's can get in and out of the breaks, and I think he's going to be a fun player if that makes sense. I think he's the type of guy that can like make plays. Kevin Austin's like it's just fun to kind of compare all these kids. Like, um, who's the kid that went to play for the Ravens? Miles Boykin. So he's Kevin Austin's kind of like a Miles Boykin, almost like a Michael Floyd, kind of rigid in his movements. And robotic carries too negative of a connotation. But this kid's much bouncier to me. Um, yeah, I'm really optimistic. So I know we only got the one, but like this to me is modern day football. Um, and this is like sort of an NFL type skill set in terms of like the way the body moves. I'm a big fan of Tobias Merriweather.
yeah,
Merriweather,
so he's listed at 6'4", 188, and yeah,
love it.
he's thin, but it's like that's the one thing like you said, I wouldn't really be concerned about that. I mean, he can put on 10 pounds in a year, like that's I got the frame I wouldn't be concerned about at all,
He's
right?
just loose. Like if you look at Kevin Austin run routes, and he's got the height, weight, speed, and all that, but like that Merriweather's a much looser athlete. Um,
Twitchy. He's twitchy. He's a twitchy
yeah,
kid.
kind of twitchy, kind of looser. So he'll be a fun player. I'm very excited about him. He's probably my second favorite signee on the offensive side of the ball in the class.